Hi, DB Pollen, ambientvibes.com. This is part of my Essence of Ambience series, and what I'm going to show you here is the functionality of the Arbhar module from Instruo. This is a granular synthesizer in that it brings in sampled sounds and then creates grains from the sampled sound, outputting in different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through different controls to show you how to get sound into the Arbhar and how to customize the sound coming out of it. I'm not going to give a very deep dive into each of the functions. I'm just going to show you basically how to use the module. And if you want a deeper dive, I invite you to please either read the manual, or you could probably find some other deeper videos on YouTube or somewhere. So first of all, we need to get sound into the Arbhar. We have 6 different slots. I'm going to put it into slot A or alpha. First thing I want to do is clear the buffer. So if I push the shift button here and it's yellow, it shows me that something is in there. I want to get rid of that. I'm just going to hold the shift down and then hold down that button briefly, and now it shows 0. There's nothing in there. Next thing I want to do is turn up the input and turn up the output so that I can hear what's coming in and coming out. And turn the wet dry over to dry. I only want to monitor the incoming signal. Well, there's nothing coming out anyway, but still. So here I have a piano patch set up on the JD08. And I'm going to record this. Recording is very simple. I'm just going to hit capture, and it's going to record a 10-second buffer. There it is. Now to listen to it, I can turn down the input now. Turn it over to wet. Adjust the output gain. There it is. Now I can scan through the whole sample. Okay, so let's go through the different controls. So as I mentioned, this is a scan control. It goes from the beginning of the buffer to the end. Now you can hear that stuttering. That is actually, those are actually grains being generated by the granular synthesizer. Now to change the intensity of those grains, first of all, I need to separate these grains out. All right. To separate them, you turn up spray. Now you can see that some grains are getting hit above the sample, some getting below. And I can move the center of where those grains are being generated by using the scan. Okay? Now the intensity is a control which, when you turn it anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, the grains are going to be generated regularly. They're going to be generated uniformly. Over here, they're going to be generated a little bit more randomly. So even distribution and random distribution, like that. Okay. Now, interesting about Arbhar is that if you turn it all the way down, either that way or this way, you won't hear any grains until you press the strike. Now you can send it a gate, or you could send it just a strike. If I put a clock signal in here, every time the clock triggers, it's going to trigger a grain. The length determines how long the grains are going to be, predictably. So if I put the length very short, you're going to get a very granular, stuttery sound, which sounds really great with reverb. Nice drone. If I lengthen the grain size, you're going to get more individual notes. Okay, now these controls up here. This controls the pitch. The control above it is an automatic generation of random pitches. If you set it to the left or anti-clockwise, you're going to get unquantized random generation of pitch. If I set it clockwise, it's going to be quantized generation of pitches. Now this is the shape of each of the grains. So right now it's on an equal rise, equal fall. If I turn it over here, oops, if I turn it over here, now it's going to be square, so you're going to get an abrupt attack and abrupt fall. Very percussive. And equally over here, a reverse ramp wave, instant attack, and then a long decay. Very good for percussion as well. And lastly, this control over here controls the direction of the grain being generated. Over anti-clockwise, the grains are generated normally from beginning to end. All the way clockwise, now you can hear it's a ramp up. So it's reversed. Right down the middle, it's going to be equal random generating of grains that are going forward and going backward. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is what's called the follow mode. So right now, as you can see, Arbhar is generating its granularized textures automatically. It's an internal clock. Let's say like I just want one shot. I want it to play through once every time either strike is hit or a clock is sent in. To get to that mode, you hold down Shift and Capture, and then you turn this knob, the scan knob, all the way over, back and forth until that lights up. Now I'm in what's called follow mode. So by hitting this, it's going to scan through the whole buffer. Okay. Now the scan becomes the speed. Faster and slower. The same thing can be done with the clock. So you can synchronize it to your master clock. Okay, later on in a future video, I'm going to go through the dubbing, where you can do sound on sound. I'm going to go through sample locking, where you can lock on a channel to play back while you're recording onto a different channel. And I'm going to go through some of the CV controls, even to where you can set this here, and then you can scan will now act as scan across all of the slots in there. So anyway, if you have any questions regarding this video, please do let me know. I'll be happy to answer them if I can, or produce further videos to further explain the functionality of this module. It's a fantastic module, absolutely great when you're using it with some reverb, which I will demonstrate now. We'll get it back to automatic mode. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.